Welcome back to Inside Sources. In this segment, I want to have a quick conversation regarding the negotiation between the federal government and the university staff. They've been meeting all the associations and the groups in the university, academic, non-academic, medical, and the rest of it. Now, to join me in that conversation today, I have the president of the Congress of University Academics, Dr. Niyi Sumonu, who is an associate professor of atmospheric physics from the Obafemi Awolowo University. Comrade Sumonu, welcome back to Inside Sources. It's nice to be here once again, and permit me to use this opportunity to appreciate what you are doing for the nation using this platform. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Sumonu. So can you give us an update? We know that there has been a series of meetings between the federal government. We understand that the Minister for Education, Dr. Tunde Alausa, actually consolidated the negotiating team of the federal government under the leadership of Dr. Yayale Ahmed. So that committee is the one that is negotiating with all the interest in the universities. What is the update? Where are things now? Yeah, thank you very much. And I want to say compliment of the seasons to the viewers at home. Yeah, your intro, it's factual. And I think I want to look at it from the perspective of the fact that the current government is trying to do things differently this time around. Okay. In the time past, it used to be one committee meeting with different committees meeting with different unions in the university, but this time around it's been consolidated. Yeah, there's been an inaugural meeting, at least for us. And that consolidation seems to be a reasonable thing. I think so, because Albert Einstein is reported to have said that insanity is doing things same way over and over and expecting different results. For us, from our perspective, we've had inaugural meeting with the Alhaji Mahmood and elder statesman, the Yayale Ahmed's committee. And in that meeting, we submitted our proposals cutting across different kinds of things, including improved remuneration, of course. Right. Then we got, just yesterday, we got a communication that our submissions have been looked into. Meetings have been held on it, and positions have been taken, and that they are going to communicate with us a date to come around for the discussions over the positions of the government. So that is the stage we are now. Okay, so government, the negotiators have said that they have looked at the presentation of all the unions, and government has taken a position that is going to be communicated. So I will not be able to speak convincingly of other unions. Okay. But specifically, the information at our disposal is that the submission we made, right, we made one on 21st October. They also gave us a template with which we should write some things. We also did that afterwards. So those two things, to my mind, is what they said they have met over. They have looked at what is there, or what are their positions on each of the items for us, where or when we'll sit and discuss those positions, right, before we then move forward. Okay. All right. Let's take it forward. So just a bit of background. The Congress of University Academics, came out of ASU, and one of the issues was because you guys had a more nuanced policy or idea regarding the use of strikes, and CONUA has been home for a number of years. Can you just give a brief of how CONUA has been performing? Do you think that CONUA so far in the few years past have been able to achieve some of its stated objectives? Yeah, maybe because of my background, I really love numbers. I would say CONUA has been around after registration for about 3 years. It's going to be 3 years in January next year. Okay. So this period, Yes, issues that led into the formation is out there in the open, but I don't want to dwell on that. First and foremost, unionism. We should be able to define. Albeit, very shortly, is about advocacy in an organized and structured manner for the rights, welfare, dignity, interests of members, improved remuneration, and so many other things. So it's not synonymous, because people in this part of the world can confuse unionism with strike action. Because that's the only time you would notice a lot of unions in the country. But advocacy can come in form of what we are doing now, public engagement,
right?
Press engagement. Advocacy can come in form of negotiation. Negotiation can lead to collective bargaining agreements. So, CONUA, when it came out, when it was registered, has been following that path of consistent and continuous advocacy. We believe strike action, though legitimate, should be a thing of the last resort and should be sparingly used, if it's to be used at all, so that things are not disrupted, especially education, not to talk of tertiary education. And it is this continuity that the development of any nation, Nigeria inclusive, is tied to. All these breaks in transmission, if I'm allowed to use that, of academic activities is also negatively affecting the country. So to come back to the question, we've been advocating for a number of things. For example, we have advocated, you think that after our registration, it will be easy to get us to the negotiation table. We've got to shout ourselves wax with the press, having different meetings with different stakeholders before we could be invited to the table. And that speaks to, by the time this negotiation concludes, that will speak to improved remuneration, improved condition of service. And that is one area in 3 years of existence of CONUA. We also believe that as a way of doing things differently, stakeholders need to be brought together at different times, stakeholders that have things to do directly or remotely with education. Let me give an instance in that regard. That is pension. We noticed some 2-3 years back, we noticed that our colleagues, our teachers, our senior colleagues will retire and they will wait 2, 3, 4 years before they have access
to their pension.
And you know that they are retiring at maybe 70. Let's say that is the age. Some of them may decide to do so before that time, and that will be voluntary. But they retire at 70, and it takes 2, 3 years. By 60, anybody of age 60 has one thing or the other that will need regular medication. And we see that statistically. We also believe in data-driven advocacy. Statistically, 10 professors will retire, or 10 colleagues will retire. In another 2, 3 years, 3 or 5 or 4 or 6 of them are dead due to uncertainties in their funding. Because the moment they retire, they no longer take salaries, their pension is not coming. So what we did was to approach PENCOM. What is causing this delay was to approach PFAs, pension fund administrators. And we wrote letters here and there, we engaged, which culminated in 2024 at a webinar attended by PENCOM, attended by Nigeria Union of Pensioners, NUP, and also PFAs. We chose about 4 or 5 PFAs representing, and they made presentations, and we followed up. Just about this October, or about some few months back, the President, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, released 758 billion naira bond to clear the backlog. So that kind of achievement, that kind of engagement, quiet, inclusive, So when you make progress like that, you don't have to, it's not all the time that you make noise that you make progress, really.
So now, university staff, lecturers don't have to wait when they retire for another 2 years.
Yes.
Because the 780 billion is
758 billion.
It's not just for, it's generally for everybody that is in the education system, but it also affects the
academics that retire. Yeah.
So when people retire now, they can start getting their pension immediately.
And that will elongate their lives.
Yeah, that's a very good one.
Another one that I feel I should mention, for which I should appreciate the current Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, is bringing on board to be beneficiary of TED Fund, the inter-university centers. They were yanked off as among the beneficiaries of TED Fund about 13 years ago.
So
inter-university centers, it's a center like National Mathematical Center in Abuja here.
Okay.
The National Arabic Language Village in Ngala, Maduguri.
Okay.
French Village.
So they are treated also as university staff.
They actually.
But they were yanked off TED Fund.
Yes, before. We operate the same salary scale. They are paid on CONUA's Consolidated University Academic Salary Scale.
So now you've been able to bring them back?
Yes. The government, about 3 or 4 days ago, announced, that's Dr. Tunji Alausa announced that they have to be brought back to be beneficiaries of TED Fund. So, in fact, there was a program we attended with TED Fund Executive Secretary, sometimes in March, virtually. We protested this exclusion. And the man advised, maybe you go to the National Assembly to sort things out. And we follow through things like that because we believe that we can engage, constructive engagement produce results without noise, without disruption. And that is good for everyone. Also, last but not, just to mention a few.
Right.
There's this third-party deduction, which has to do with when the salaries were not paid in 2022 as a result of strike actions embarked upon that year. And the government, even though the court made a pronouncement, withheld the salary 7.5 months through presidential pardon or presidential prerogative, 4 months were paid. By the way, we deserve our outstanding 3.5 months because we never declared strike. So when the 4 months were paid, the statutory deduction into third party were not paid.
Oh, wow.
It got to a point that we had to, individual of us had to write, we wrote petition collective, and we signed to the IPPIS in April of this year. Because we don't talk about this, because we don't make noise about this, does not mean
that it's not happening,
that we are not moving.
So that has also been resolved.
That has been resolved.
Okay.
So, and we have a couple of others like
interesting. Because of our time, I'll ask you one more question. I wanted to confirm from you whether it is indeed true that some members of CONUA face a bit of intimidation from the other staff unions because they chose to be in CONUA and not the other staff union. Are there indeed confirmed cases of such intimidation?
I will personally appreciate you for this question. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, in fact, when we started CONUA in OAU, that is written all over us. Some of us were intimidated even with, let me put that aside. Let me speak to what can be confirmed.
Right.
I have 3 instances that I'm going to share here. 2 instances have to do with the payment, just the payment this year of academic allowances, and one has to do with the warning strike that just held a couple of weeks back. I'll start with that. Yes, people that chose to go on strike are legitimate. They are within their right to do so.
That's the members of ASU.
People who choose to say that for whatever reasons we do not believe in strike,
that's the members
as CONUA are free citizens in this country and should also be respected for their choice.
So what happened?
So in the University of Benin, our members were harassed for choosing to continue to work because they were in exam period that time.
So how did the harassment take place? They
going to classes that they could not, invigilate exams and stuff like that. It took the intervention of the university to put a stop to that.
So members of CONUA went to invigilate, and members
because we didn't declare any strike.
And the members of ASU tried to get them out of the place.
Yes. It took the intervention of the university. Yes. It took the intervention of the vice chancellor, and we want vice chancellors to emulate that kind of vice chancellor in Uniben.
Okay, which other
to allow
a level
freedom of choice, as long as it is in alignment with Section 40 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended. The two I mentioned about EAA, one is in Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka.
Okay.
Our sister union just said, you cannot partake in this EAA. It is not your money. It is an academic allowance. It is our money. In fact, that took me by surprise. The government has this money. And for what purpose is this money? To pay for those who had overworked beyond certain level.
Who said that in Awka?
Our sister union.
Okay, they made an official position.
Yes.
That is only ASU members that can benefit.
Everywhere they said it.
But the money is not in their care, though. It's in the care of the university.
Well, some universities have outsourced the calculation to the other union.
Okay, I see.
And for that, they have appropriated that it is their money.
Okay.
So it took us to write, our lawyers to write the vice chancellor of that university and the Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Toji Alausa, before our members were paid there. One painful one to me, that was painful. One more painful one to me was that just about last week or so was when our member, one person, I must say, in the University of Jos, was just paid his own EAA. EAA that was paid in April, May, latest June this year.
So your member is just collecting his own?
He just collected his own.
What happened? Why was it delayed?
He said he's not, he's not entitled to that money, even though he filed his claims, he signed to the HOD forwarded it to the dean and to the vice chancellor. And some executive of the union just said, no, we're not going to pay you. We're already waiting to start a legal matter. Before the money, well, I was informed that the money was paid. Sometimes last week, Thursday.
Interesting.
So this is a tip of iceberg of what we face. On online platforms, I'm not saying difference of opinion. People practically intimidating. That there's no way we will allow these people to survive and stuff like that. If it's about calling names or it's a free world, they can do whatever they like with that. But to the point of saying that you identifying or making a choice, and as a result of that choice, which is not against the constitution of our country, and that should stop. That should stop forthwith. And I want to appeal to all our vice chancellors that freedom of choice is enshrined in our constitution. And they should allow that to be operational in our universities.
Interesting. You know, I recollect my last interview with the president of ASU, Professor Piwuna. I think after the interview, he did say that he welcomed, you know, the emergence of CONUA. So we hope that they will leave that out.
I hope so.
In their relationship with you.
I hope so.
And not be involved in these reported cases of intimidation.
We really don't have reasons to intimidate ourselves, because what we do as academics bothers primarily on perspectives.
Very true.
Our researches bother primarily on perspectives. If we're looking at things from one prism alone, no progress will be made.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Thank you so much, Associate Professor Simono.
Thank you so much once again for having me.
Thank you for updating us on the developments regarding the negotiation between the federal government and university teachers and other staff. And thank you for your voice.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right. And there you have it, another edition of Inside Sources. Like we always say, Nigeria will prevail. Nigeria will prevail because we always put out the main issues. My name is Lauda Konde. Thank you for watching. And by the grace of God, I'll see you at the next edition.